we'll see the overview of the SNP. SNP is supply, networking and planning. So after the DP, like a DP, we have generated the forecast. Now in the SNP, we need to do the planning. How we can produce the supply based on this demand. That planning we can do into the SNP. So normally these are the supply chain pain points related to the SNP. So if we have the problems like this, so the tool is the SNP tool will help you to solve these issues. Say for example, lack of visibility in the supply chain and more number of stockouts, like in low customer service level and no optimization. So like that, whatever these type of issues are there, so if we implement the SNP, it will solve the issues. And supply network planning features and benefits we can see here. The features is nothing but like a what exactly it is doing, and benefits what is the output or what is the business benefits we will get. So first in SNP we can say total we can divide SNP planning as a three parts. One is the planning, another one is the deployment, and another one is the TLB, transportation load builder. In the planning we will do the plan like a how I can match my forecast, like whatever the results in the forecast, how I can match it. In the forecast might be some are the like a manufacturing in-house production, or some we are getting from the vendor. So for that one we need a purchasing. So that is the reason it is integrated the purchasing and manufacturing. So like that we can do the planning. So here based on the forecast results, like a planned independent requirements, if you run the SNP plan, either heuristic or optimizer or CTM, then you will get a purchase creation and planned order as a SNP results. So if we send these to ECC, so then they will do the purchase orders, they will create or they will do the production orders and they will start the production. So once we get the stock, we have to plan how to distribute to the DCs, because always the demand and supply might be is not equal, and from one plant to we are sending the stock to the several distribution centers. So how we need to distribute, that will be covered into the distribution, nothing but like a deployment. And once we have done the deployment, then we need to confirm the deployment order and we need to create as a shipments. We can see how many trucks we require from plant to DC. Like that we will create a transportation load builder and these are the shipments, and this we will send to the ECC system so that they will do the execution. So here planning, deployment and TLB. So SNP is integrated to the purchasing, manufacturing, distribution and transportation. Normally this cycle will be done in the weekly in SNP. Say for example, Sunday night DP they will release the forecast, and Monday evening SNP they will do the planning, like they will run heuristic, optimizer or CTM. So all these things we can see into the coming slides, like what is what is the heuristic, what is the optimizer and what is the CTM. And Tuesday if they have the PPDS, they will run the short term planning in the PPDS. Basically SNP is the mid-term planning, and then Wednesday we will run the deployment, and Thursday we will do the TLB shipments, and Thursday night this result is sending to the R3, so that Friday they will do the execution and physically the stock will move from the plant to DCs. Like that every week the planning cycle will be repeated. Like how we are doing the DP as a monthly forecast cycle, here we are doing as a weekly planning cycle. Clear? Yeah. So this is the planning cycle, and other than this, like again the SNP also will support the some other features, aggregation, disaggregation, safety stock, shelf life planning, so many other things also, the subcontracting. So those we can see into the coming slides. And the benefits, like a, it is increasing the visibility of whole supply chain, like a global level network. Also we can do the SNP planning. And we have the different type of the engine, like optimization and heuristic and CTM. So based on the business requirement, we can select the whatever we require the engine. And shortened order fulfillment times, and it will reduce the inventory level, and it will improve the customer services. So these are the key benefits for SNP. And how we saw the demand planning cycle, here also you can see the typical SNP planning cycle. This is basically for the midterm planning, and first it will start from the getting the forecast from the demand planning. So release the forecast from the DP to SNP. This is we can call as a, these results we can call as a PIR, planned independent requirements. Then based on this data we will start doing the safety stock planning. After the safety stock plan, we can do the performing the SNP planning run, like one is the heuristic, optimizer and CTM. Any one of the engine we can run, or like a, for some of the products we can run one engine, and for some of the products we can run the different engine. That is again based on the business situation. And the business users, once the planning is completed, they will review the results, and if any corrections they will do it. And we can generate the alert monitor also, so they can do the, based on the alert monitor they can correct the action. Like if you run the heuristic, it is the infinite planning, so they can do the capacity leveling, backward or forward combination. And then this SNP results we will send to the PPDS. So PPDS will do the short-term planning, like a detailed level of production planning. So till this one the planning part is over, then we need to perform the deployment and TLB for short-term distribution plan. Then this results we are releasing to, sending to the transfer system, nothing but like a ECC system. So there they will do the execution, and physically the stock will move from plant to DCs and DC to DCs. And the same thing like how we are seeing the demand planning interactive planning screen, here also we can see the SNP interactive planning screen. So all the things we are doing in the interactive planning screen. This is the example of the interactive planning screen in SNP side. It is look like a DP interactive planning screen, but again like a key figure and characteristics, these data everything will be different, but the features more or less both are equal. And this is the capacity data view. This is planning data view, and this is the capacity data view. And what is the heuristic? Like in R3, how we are running the MRP2, the same thing like a heuristic will do. But heuristic have the more features compared to that one. Basically, if you run the heuristic, what it will do, it will generate a infinite planning. It will not constrain any capacity. For example, for 1 week, we are able to produce only 2000 units. But for that week, the forecast is 3000 units. If you run the SNP heuristic, simply it will create a planned order for 3000 units. Even we are able to produce 2000, it will not bother. Simply it will create a 3000 units. It is being the planning based on the infinite. So infinite planning will do the heuristic. So if any clients are not bothered about, are not constrained the capacities, then they can run the heuristic. There is no issue, then we can run. So now it is not like a running based on the capacity, like even it is taking the excess of the capacity load, then how we can manage it. After running the heuristic, we can go to the capacity leveling, and there we can see when which are the buckets are overloading. Like for this one we can trigger alerts also. So based on the alerts we can monitor which resource are overloading. So for that resource, we can plan it like a backward or forward or backward and forward. We can do the capacity leveling manually again. Like for example, week 3 is overloaded, week 4 is a free bucket. So whatever the overloaded, for example, 2000 we are able to produce for week 3, but it is a 3000 is there. So this remaining 1000 units we will scheduling to the week 4 bucket. Or if the week 2 bucket is free, we can backward, okay, into the week 2 we can plan that to 1000 units. Like that we can do the leveling of the capacity. Since it is not constrain the capacity, so this planning is two steps. One is we are running the heuristic infinite planning and doing the leveling capacity by capacity leveling. Clear, Sandeep?
Yes, yes. So Karan, like if company has restricted resources, then they probably want to use heuristics.
Company?
As limited resources, then it won't use heuristics.
If limited resource and based on the my resource capacity level, then we can do the other plannings, CTM. Yeah. Now you can see this is a CTM capable to match. So what it do, like it will constrain the capacity. Based on the capacity only, it will give the planning results. It means if you run heuristic, for example, the week we are able to produce 2000 units, but the forecast is 3000 units. But the CTM planning will create only planned orders for 2000. For example, it is in-house production, so it is creating only planned orders for 2000 units only. So based on like in the name only you can see capable to match. So how much we are able to match, so that much only it will produce it. So here the another problem is, for example, if I am my total demand is 3000, so if I am not able to produce total my demand, so might be I will miss some sales order. So again it will, if I am not able to meet my sales order, then my customer service level will be go down. So that is the problem. So for that reason, in the heuristic we have the option like a demand prioritization and the supply categorization. It means the demand, whatever the total demand, we can do the priority. It means like in the total demand I can say one is the sales order and another one is the forecast and another one is the, for example, quotation. Okay, in the total demand we have the sales order, forecast and quotations. So here I can give the priority. In the priority I will mention first whatever the sales orders you can plan it. Still capacities are open, then you can go for the forecast. Still the capacities are open, then you can go for the quotation. So for example in this 3000 we can say 1500 is the sales order and 500 is the forecast values and 1000 is the quotation. This is my total demand. So what CTM will do, first it will fulfill the 1500 sales orders because capacity we have the limitation till 2000. Then it will plan for the forecast values. So there also 500 is there, but it will not do the planning for the quotation demand based on the priority settings. There we have to give priority 1 sales order, priority 2 forecast, like that. So like that we can overcome this problem. And supply also we can categorize, like first my target stock, then my normal stock, then whatever the excess stock. So prioritize the demand and categorize the supply. That is the CTM. And here it will take the constraint and it will do the finite planning. And CTM we can run for the SNP and we can run for the PPDS. Same thing, heuristic also we can run for SNP and we can run for the PPDS. Optimizer also we can use for the PPDS and SNP. And again, heuristics have the 3 type of heuristics, like a location, network and multi-level. Anyway, we will see in the heuristic planning. Location, it will consider only one location level. Network, across the network level it will give the planning, and multi-level it will give the planning including the components at vendor level also. So anyway, that we can see into the SNP time. Now if I want to do the planning based on the cost, then optimizer will support it. It is also finite planning, but the planning is being based on the cost. Say for example, we have the 3 vendors are there. So one vendor will give the components within the 10 days, but he will charge $1,000. Another vendor, if will take 15 days, he will charge $800. And another vendor will take 20 days, he will charge only $500. If my sales order delivery is like 10 days and I can manufacture it is in 2 days, then even if I get 20 days also vendor will produce, I can deliver it, I can manufacture it to 2 days and my delivery time will take 2 days. So total 25 days are there, for example. So then automatically this optimizer will prefer the vendor 3. If you give vendor 1, 2, 3 in the system, it will calculate this cost and it will prefer like a vendor 3, because we have the enough time and we are getting only $500 only. And for example, if there is a one product, if I am not able to deliver it, penalty cost is 1,000. And another product, if I am able to produce, I am not able to give the delivery, I have to pay $2,000. And I have only one mission and I have time only for 1 week. Either I can produce A or B, product A or B. So it will calculate the cost. So product B have the more penalty cost. So based on that, it will prefer the product B for the planning. Like that, it will calculate the cost, all type of cost, and it will give the planning results. So these costs we have to maintain in the master data, and we are maintaining the cost profile, and on the when you are running the optimizer, so based on this cost it will give the planning. And this optimizer again, it is a linking with the iLog server. So whatever we are, it is integrated to iLog server. Whatever we are giving the input in the optimizer, it will take into the iLog, and there it will do the planning, and again it is sending back to the optimizer, and we can review the results in the optilog. So based on that we can take the decision based on the cost. Okay, Sandeep? Yeah, it is a different server again. That is IBM server, IBM 2.
Only optimizer uses.
Yeah, for optimizer we need that integration. Here we have not able to get the iLog server, but anyway I will show all the configuration, and I have some screenshots the iLog server. So how it is giving the results, everything I have there. So we will execute and we will see the results as a screenshot instead of system. And the optimizer, like a results we can see like this. It is a little complicated to analyze the results. And now you can see the differences of the or comparison of the 3 engines. Okay, heuristic is very simple. It will not take much time to configuration, and CTM and optimizer will take more time to configuration. And to understand the heuristic results are very easy, and CTM and optimizer little difficult. And the quality of the results, heuristic is a medium, CTM and optimizer is a high. And heuristic is doing the infinite planning, and CTM and optimizer is doing the finite planning. So some of the the differences between the 3 engines. And the next, deployment and transportation load builder TLB. Like after the planning, whatever the based on the planning, like in R3 they will do the execution and they will get a stock in the plant. Now how to distribute the stock to our DCs, that will be taken care in the deployment. how to send this plan we are doing in the deployment. In the deployment also again we have the heuristic and optimizer. We can like infinite and here cost based we can do it. So always the demand and supply will not match. For example, in the plant I have the stock 1000, like I have the 5 DCs. In the DCs, like every DC is a, for example, 300, 300, 300. So total it is like a 1500. But here I have the stock only 1000. Or some cases I have the stock in the plant as a 1500 units, but each DC have the demand 200. So it is a 200 into 5, like it is a 1000 only. So how I can manage it? So that one we can plan it in the deployment. Like in the real time, if you go to the any plant, like a lot of plants, like a lot of DCs are there. So how plannedly like we can distribute the stock? So that we can do into the deployment. The output of the deployment we can get a stock deployment to stock transfer. Input is nothing but like a stock, and like whatever the planned orders also we can take it and conform those things, and we can make it as a deployment orders. And this deployment orders we will conform it and we will create as a shipment. And this shipment here we can calculate like a how many trucks we require. So everything we will create into the TLB shipments, and this we are sending to the R3 so that they will do the execution. Here the green is the plant and red one is the DCs. So to do all those things we need to create a master data in the SNP. And the safety stock, again we can do the safety stock planning in SNP. This is the three things, like a one is the based on the quantity, like in the material master or product master we can maintain the quantity. Say for example, for this specific location I want to maintain this product like 100 units, 100 units of the safety stock. So that the system always consider 100 units as a safety stock. Or like I can give the time based, like a 2 days plan or 3 days plan I want to give as a safety stock. Or there is a advanced methods also there, based on the forecast errors we can generate the safety stock. So I have one detailed document about the safety stock, I will forward you that one. And we can do the planning at aggregated level, and the planning results we can distribute into the disaggregation level. So the aggregation level is here product level, location level, and resource level. So these levels we can do aggregated planning, and we can distribute the results into the disaggregation level. And the shelf life also supporting by SNP, and we can maintain the master data like product master, what is the minimum shelf life, what is the maximum shelf life based on the product. So when we are doing the planning, it will consider the shelf life also. And the subcontracting process also supported in SNP. For example, you can take the Cadbury, like every Deepavali or January 1st, what they will do, they will give a gift pack of the chocolates. Like it is a yearly once or yearly twice activity. So it is not required to maintain a one special plant for the packing, like all the instruments for the packing, and maintain the resource for the packing. So because it is really inventory waste, like only yearly once only they are doing. So once might be 1 month if they run, like 11 months they cannot keep it ideally, and in the same time might be they are not expert in the packing also. So for these situations, what they used to do, they will send the components like a whatever the chocolate. So send to the like a Cadbury roasted almond, fruit and nut, like they will send to here, and from here like the subcontractor will make it as a box, and he will send to the plant. So here we will sell as it is as a finished product. like a separate product. Like normally almond and roasted almond and fruit and nut, we are maintaining that finished product, but I will make it as a one finished product, a box of the chocolates. Like I will treat as a separate finished product. So here we are giving the outsourcing, like subcontracting, to make this one, and this process also, this planning also we can do in the SNP. Okay. Hello, Sandeep.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
And interchangeability also is supporting in SNP. Like in the DP, whatever the like profile, phase in, phase out, product split, re-element, all are like interchangeability. So here also, if I am not able to produce one product, so we can do as okay, 70% we can do for the planning for this product, and remaining 30% we can go for the other product. Like deployment also we can do for the 70% of this product and 30% of this product. If we are not able to 100% fulfill one product, you can give the another product for the remaining percentage. So that is nothing but like interchangeability. And integration, like standard SAP integration is CIF, core interface, with R3 and APO. If it is not the source system as SAP system, we can integrate with the ALE and BAPIS. And always the SNP is a real-time integrated with the ECC system. Master data, transaction data we are sending from ECC to APO, and the transaction data we are sending from APO to ECC. Based on the master data, transaction data in ECC, in APO we are doing a planning here. The planning results we are sending to the ECC system, so that they can do the execution. They will execute the planning results. So this is the real-time integration. And these are some of the benefits for SAP SNP. Like we have the choice of the different engines, heuristic, CPM and optimizer, like how they want to do the planning, we can map it. And it is supporting like a subcontracting, shelf life planning, like a safety stock planning and aggregated planning, like that. So many features are there, and everything we can see in one screen, nothing but like an interactive planning screen. And we can do the capacity leveling, and it is a real-time integration with all planning, production, distribution and everything. And across the global level and the cross plant level, we can do the planning and optimize our inventory, and we can maintain the service level. Like everything we can track in the system. So like that we can have so many benefits to use this SNP. Any questions here, Sandeep?